Hello everybody, my name is Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage, where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is all about those everyday purchases that you really should stop buying. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. So why am I focusing on the everyday items? Well, they're the kind of things that can creep into your budget without you really noticing, but they're the things that add up to quite a lot over time. So if you're buying these things on a regular basis, those little expenses will add up to quite a lot over a month, and then even more so over a year. So it's just looking at being more mindful with our spending habits and eliminating those things that really you need to stop buying. I have a list of 9 things that will help you to rein in that spending, make your budget look better, and also kind of help the environment at the same time if that's something else you're interested in. So number 1, and I've been guilty of this in the past, is gym memberships that you don't use. Now obviously at the moment it's slightly different, but normally gym memberships are taken out every month, and unless you go really regularly, say 3 or 4 times a week, they are not worth the money that you pay. And you pay that every month, and it goes out probably by direct debit every month, and it is not worth your money for that. And like I said, unless you go really regularly and make the commitment to using the facilities available, you don't need to. You can go for walks outside, you can go running if that's what you like. You know, there are fitness videos on YouTube you can watch for free. There are yoga videos on YouTube. There are so many things that you can do exercise wise that do not cost you anything compared to, say, a membership at a gym that's £30 a month. That's £360 a year that could be better spent elsewhere. Imagine if you could invest that money instead and have that compound. So if you have a gym membership that you're paying for, really think carefully about whether it is worth what you pay for. Do you use that often enough to justify the cost of that? The answer for most people is probably not. And there are so many gym memberships that are paid each month and nobody goes, so you don't even use it per month. That's just money you are throwing away. So the first one definitely is gym and memberships. Unless you are really consistent in going on a regular basis, you need to cancel that and find other ways to get your exercise for free. Number 2 is prepared food. So things like you can buy chopped carrots, chopped onions, all the kind of things that they come in a prepared plastic bag in the supermarket. This is often more expensive for the amount you get, and it comes in packaging that you do not need. Now there is only 1 or maybe 2 reasons why this would be an exception. If you have a medical reason why you couldn't stand and chop a carrot or an onion, then okay, fair enough. And also if you've got someone who's got sensory issues around food, then fair enough. Having them pre-packaged and pre-cut is probably a really helpful thing. But for the majority of people, it takes you 30 seconds to stand and chop a carrot. It's much cheaper to buy a bag of carrots that are whole, or even loose ones, and just buy how many you need, which is what we do, than to buy that packaged pre-cut carrots. It sounds really daft because they're not expensive, but over time it is a cost that is just not worth it. And you also have to then dispose of the plastic bag as well. So unless you can't for medical reasons, ditch those pre-cut, pre-packaged, sliced vegetables, and maybe meat as well, but particularly vegetables. It is so much more expensive in the long run than buying, say, the 2 carrots you need for your meal. Number 3, and it kind of goes along the same vein, is disposable items. Things like cling film, disposable cups, sandwich bags, freezer bags. All those kind of things that you use once and then throw away is such a waste of money, but it's also really bad for the environment. Have a look at getting things like the wax wraps. So they're made from a wax product that you can reuse, or you can get glass containers that you can freeze stuff in, rather than buying these plastic things that you throw away once you've used them once. Yes, the initial outlay for the reusable things might be more in the first instance, but over time you reuse them that often that it comes much more cost effective to have those rather than continuing to buy the plastic products that you throw away at the end of using them just once. And again, from an environmental perspective, you are reducing your plastic consumption and not throwing that away, because plastic takes a long time to break down, if ever. The fourth one, and it does link back to that, is bottled water. Now, isn't it daft that we have the luxury of having a tap in our house, and yet the majority of us go and buy bottled water when you could fill up a reusable bottle at home for free, and you are not again chucking plastic out, but you are reusing something. I use a Hydrate Make bottle for mine. I'll leave a link below to that. But any kind of reusable water bottle that you can get, that you can then just fill up at home, surely that makes much more sense than buying bottled water in a shop regularly. So bottled water really baffles me, so it just takes like 10 seconds to fill up a reusable bottle at home before you leave the house. Number 5 is expensive cleaning products. Now, there is a bit of a trend, perhaps it's more on social media, I don't know, but to have these branded cleaning products with different scents, and they claim to do different things. The majority of the time, you could make your own cleaning products from things like vinegar, bicarbonate soda, use like lemon peel, orange peel. There's lots of tutorials on YouTube on how to make your own cleaning products. And not only is that cheaper, it's better for the environment because it is not a lot of chemicals that you're spraying around your home, and they last longer. Now, obviously, cleaning products is a massive business, and there are some eco-friendly ones out there. But on the whole, cleaning products can be really expensive, and it depends how often you clean your house, but you can go through those at quite a quick rate. If you make your own, you control just what goes into that in the first place. You can also pick different scents, but also it'll last longer, and you know exactly what kind of chemicals or not that you are putting in your house on a regular basis, because remember, you probably breathe some of that in. So expensive cleaning products, don't buy into the hype of certain social media stars who kind of recommend all these lots of different cleaning products. Also, you don't need as many as they say. There are multi-purpose cleaning products that do the job. You don't need lots of different cleaning products for different rooms, not really. It's all getting you to spend more money on something that probably isn't necessary. Number 6 is expensive TV packages. Now, I was speaking to my husband about this the other day, and we have like the lowest TV package thing on Virgin Media that you can get. However, we were scrolling through on an evening once we got the boys in bed, looking for something to watch, and I said, we've got all these channels on this TV subscription and we never watch any of those. We probably only watch a handful of the channels that we get on our TV, and we're paying the minimum amount that we can. If you have a really expensive TV package, maybe you've got the sports or the films, do you watch enough of that to make that worth it per month? Have a look just how often you use maybe the Sky Films channels, or you watch, I don't know, some football or whatever sport you like. Is it worth it for the 70, 80, 90 pound a month that you pay for that? If you pay 90 pound a month for the top Sky package, that's over £1,000 a year on top of your TV licence fee. Is it worth it? Have a look at how much you actually watch in terms of the additional channels that you're paying for. Chances are it isn't as much as you think. It's not as regularly as you think you might watch them, and it isn't worth it in the long run. I do know that people are very particular about watching sports, so I appreciate that, but it's just thinking about the larger picture. If you don't watch them that often, have a think about whether that should be a priority and whether that can be reduced and save you quite a lot of money over time. Number 7 is overpriced beauty, makeup, everything to do with that kind of lifestyle products. There seems to be a trend at the moment on social media about pushing certain brands of products, and I appreciate that lots of people have different skincare routines and different makeup routines. However, various skin products that are recommended by influencers, let's call them, are so expensive, and you are buying something that you've not even tested out. You do not need a really complicated skincare routine and or makeup routine. It's really not necessary, and that they are so expensive. You just need the basic things, so a cleanser, a moisturiser, maybe an overnight thing. You don't really need the millions of other things that they say that you should put on your skin, because at the end of the day, the more you put on your skin, the less it can kind of breathe naturally, so to speak. Likewise with makeup. Now, I appreciate that people have very particular things about makeup, they like their certain brands, whatever. Do you need as much as that? Can you kind of just pare it back a bit and go for like a very minimal makeup look. Still have makeup on, you know, I wear makeup, but I don't have the expensive brands, and the things that I do buy last me like 6 to 8 months at a time. So it's just thinking about whether you're being lured into buying stuff by social media marketing, which at the end of the day is what it's there to do. So just see if you can find alternatives, or maybe just pare it down. Maybe you don't need quite so many eyeshadows or quite so many, I don't know, concealers, lipsticks, whatever it is. Have a look at that, just have a think about, or maybe try and do a challenge where you use up what you've got first before you buy anything else. Social media marketing around skincare and makeup is a massive business, and they pay influencers a lot of money to do ads around these products. So just bear that in mind when you're being tempted next time by that. Number 8 is to take lunch with you. Now, meal deals are so expensive for what they are. You know, if you buy a meal deal that's got a sandwich, a snack and a drink, $3.99. If you made that sandwich at home, bought a multi-pack of crisps for example, and took your own drink in your reusable water bottle, it would save you so much money per week. And if you did that every working week rather than buy your meal deal on the way to work, it would save you so much money. And it's probably healthy for you too. And again, you're not dealing with the plastic issue. So try to avoid buying these fancy meal deals. I know some of them are really tempting, and sometimes it can be nice as a treat to get something that you've not had to make. But if you're buying these meal deals every day, it's not a cost-effective way of making your lunch. I also appreciate that people might not want to take the same thing for lunch every day. Vary it up. It doesn't have to be the same boring sandwich, but you are in charge of what you make, and it literally takes like 2 minutes in the morning to make your lunch before, or even make it the night before, so it's just sat in the fridge ready for you to grab on your way out the door in the morning. Stop buying meal deals, they are not worth the money. And number 9 links into that, so that it's on the go coffee. Now, if you've watched my no spend year video and or update, you'll know that the one thing that I'm struggling with the most is my takeaway coffee, as in I said that we won't buy any this year. And when I say we, I mean me, because it's me that buys it. But if you look at the cost of takeaway coffee, it is so expensive. If you're doing this on a regular everyday basis, especially because they seem to put the prices up quite often, that again adds up to a lot, especially if you're getting like a side as well. So maybe you're getting a coffee and a croissant, or a coffee and a bacon sandwich. If you do that regularly, you are spending so much money per week and so much money per month. And again, if you think about the implications of that, so you're spending a lot of money, it's not as healthy as perhaps you would take from home. And again, it's the throwaway culture. We need to get out of the habit of just being this kind of, we buy something and then throw it away. But takeaway coffee, make it at home instead. Get yourself a travel coffee mug. Even if you buy like quite expensive coffee, it will be cheaper than going to get a takeaway coffee each day. Make it in that, take it with you, pretty much the same thing. Yes, it might not feel quite as nice because you've not bought it and someone else hasn't made it for you, but the costs over time can be so huge. There's a thing in the personal finance sphere, if you like, called the latte factor, and it is the fact that all these little expenses add up over time, such as a takeaway coffee. And remember, big coffee chains are huge businesses. They make a lot of money from people doing that. You could save a lot of money by making your coffee or tea at home before you go to work on a morning. And there are my 9 everyday spending habits that I think you should cut out to save you money. And if you did all those things and save this money and invested it instead, you would start to begin to build wealth just by changing those little habits that cost you money every day. Do you have any more recommendations? Leave them in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Have you started to change these already? Is there anything I missed out that you think should also be on the list? Let me know. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.